Halo semuanya, selamat datang di channel saya Paper Stories.
Huygens was born on April 14, 1629 in The Hague, Netherlands to a prominent family. His father, Constantijn Huygens, was a physicist and a diplomat. He hoped his son would become a great scientist, so asked Mersenne and Descartes, two of the most famous scientists of the time, to give the young Huygens a course. Huygens studied geometry, mechanics and the ability to play a musical instrument at home until the age of 16. His most influential teacher was Descartes, who succeeded in pumping his interest in mathematics. Christiaan Huygens studied law and mathematics at the University of Leiden between 1645 and 1647, fortunately he studied mathematics under John Pell. In 1649, Huygens went to Denmark as a diplomat and hoped to continue on to Stockholm to meet Descartes. Unfortunately, the weather was not supportive. Huygens' scientific work was first published in 1651, namely Cyclometry, which discussed circles. Then, in 1654 he produced De Circuli Magnitudine Inventa, which discussed various scientific issues. In 1654 he discovered a new method of making lenses. And a year later, he managed to observe Saturn's satellite, Titan. Lenses he developed later were also used to observe the planets, satellites, and the Orion Nebula. That same year he went to Paris and met Berjaya, who suggested he study probability with Pascal and Fermat. When he returned to the Netherlands, Huygens produced his work on the calculus of probability, namely De Ratiociniis in Ludo Alae. Subsequently, he discovered the rings of Saturn, but it differed from the theory of Saturn's rings proposed by Roberval and Berjaya. Galileo several years earlier considered Saturn's rings to be part of Saturn. In 1659, Huygens published his Systema Saturnium, which describes the stages and phase changes of Saturn's rings. Observations of other scientists, namely Fabre in 1665, apparently confirmed Huygens' theory. In 1656, he patented his invention of the pendulum watch, which was able to increase the accuracy of time measurement. The theory of pendulum motion was expressed in the Horologium Oscillatorium Sive de Motu Pendulorum, 1673. He also discovered the law of the centrifugal force of uniform circular motion. In 1661, Huygens went to London, to find out more about the Royal Society, which met at Gresham College. He paid great attention to the British scientists, and continued to make contact thereafter. He showed him his telescope, and British scientists used it. The King and Queen of England used the telescope to observe the Moon and Saturn. While in London, Huygens saw Boyle's vacuum pump, and he used it. Huygens became a member of the prestigious Scientific Institute of the Royal Society and patented his pendulum watch design in the same year. Huygens' experiments on the collision of elastic bodies demonstrated the error of Descartes' law of collisions, and this theme was raised at a meeting of the Royal Society in 1668. The Royal Society asked a question about collisions, and Huygens answered it through the experiment that the momentum of two objects before the collision is equal to the momentum of the two after the collision. The answer was later called the law of conservation of momentum. Circular motion became the theme of Huygens' research at that time, but he also thought about Descartes' theory of gravity, which was based on rotating matter, which he called vortex. Something went wrong in Descartes' theory. In 1669 Huygens visited the Academy to discuss this issue. After that, Roberval and Marriott corrected Descartes' gaze. Due to frequent trips between the French-Dutch, Huygens fell ill, and before leaving Paris, Huygens promised not to publish his research on mechanics before sending it to the Royal Society. In 1671, Huygens returned to Paris. However, in 1672, King Louis XIV invaded the Netherlands. Huygens sees his position as difficult, and it is very important for him to be in Paris. French scientists strongly support his research. In 1672 Huygens met with Leibniz in Paris, and after that Leibniz regularly visited the Académie. In the same year, Huygens studied the working principle of the Newtonian telescope and light. And he tried to criticize Newton's theory of light, especially about color. Huygens returned to The Hague in 1681, where he later died at the age of 66.